Well, hi folks, it's about 3 weeks until I plant out my giant onions in the 60 litre pots now, so I'm going to get on and mix me growing mix up, and I'll show you exactly what I'm going to put in it. So if you want to copy it, by all means do it. So what I'm going to use this year is I'm going to use 2 parts of this compost called Jack's Magic. I used it last year, it was fantastic. It's got added seaweed in and some sand, and everything seemed to grow really well in it last year. So it's going to be 20 litres of that. I'm just doing 30 litre batches, and then also I'm going to use some John Innes number 2, which is a sort of soil based compost, just to add a bit more sort of strength to the mix. So I'm going to use 10 litres of that, and then I've got some perlite now. I'm just going to add about 2 litres of that, just to give it a bit of, it's a bit like adding grit, but it doesn't weigh anything. Just gives the mix a bit more of an open structure. And then I'll show you exactly what fertiliser and stuff I'm going to put in, which are very little fertiliser wise. The only fertilisers I'm going to put into each 30 litre batch is 1 ounce of this Westland Gro Sure slow release 6 month little pellet things. So they slowly release the nutrients over 6 months, and they're called Gro Sure. They've got slightly high potash, which helps in bulb formation. So that's all I'm putting in, which I'll just show you how little it is. That's half an ounce basically, so I'm only putting 2 of those in each 30 litre, so it's basically about a tablespoon. There's a big myth about growing big onions, that you just put loads of fertiliser and they grow bigger. Well, it couldn't be further from the truth. If you put far too much fertiliser in, you can actually, it's called raising the soil conductivity if you add too much fertiliser, and it can ruin the roots, you see. So just give them a medium amount of fertiliser, and I'm going to use this stuff as well. This is called Nutrimate, and it's like concentrated humic and humic acid and humus. Basically it's like a real concentrated compost. It claims to be worth 10 kilos of this stuff is worth, it's got the same amount of humic matter as a ton of well rotted cow manure. So as you can see, it's just some kind of ground rock which is full of humic acid and humus and stuff like that, which is fantastic because it makes your plant sort of get as much out of the nutrients as it can. It's really good stuff. It's quite expensive. If you look on the internet, you can buy it in big buckets. It's about 30 quid for 10 kilos, and one of those will last me 3 years anyway, so you don't use that much. So like I say, I'm going to use 4 ounces of that to a 60 litre mix. So I'm just going to put 2 ounces of that per 30 litre. And then we've got some calcified seaweed, which I grow my carrots. I put with my carrot mixes too. That adds a bit of calcium, and there's lots of trace elements in there like magnesium and all sorts of other goodies. So I'm just going to put 2 ounces of that per 30 litres too. You can see that's finely ground up. And then we've got some of that Rockdust. There's the box anyway. Well, that's a small box. Rockdust. I'm not measuring this out. I'm just basically putting a handful of that in, because you can't overdose with that stuff. That's the same. That's got trace elements and minerals. And then finally, I'm going to put half an ounce of this stuff in. It's not cocaine. It's actually called Dolomite lime, which is a magnesium lime. Magnesium sort of calcium carbonate. I'm only putting half an ounce in per 30 litres, because onions do like a bit of magnesium, a bit of extra magnesium, as do most plants. Because if they're deficient, they tend to get yellow leaves and stuff. So that's a good stuff. You can put as much as you like in, but it's just what I grow. It's what I used last year, and I got really good results. I got an onion to just under £10, £9, 10 ounces. So I'm not going to change anything. So that's basically what I'm adding. Like I say, not much fertiliser, but some other goodies like, you know, like humus and things like that. So what I'll be doing, I'll just get me ice cream container, which is roughly 5 litres, and then we'll just get the old mixer out and give it a mix, and I'll just show you how easy it is, even though I've got to do it 12 times. So we'll just get on and do that. So I've got it all chucked in now. I'll just chuck the perlite in, and then I'll put all the other ingredients in. Turn the mixer on, give it a good old mix for about 5 or 10 minutes so it's all thoroughly mixed, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So that's it, that's a 30 litre batch done. It's probably a bit dark in here for me to show you what it's like, but that's what it's like. A nice open structured, well mixed in, little bits of perlite in it, and hopefully all the fertiliser and bits and pieces have been nicely mixed in all the way through it. So stupid as I am, I'm going to plant 1 onion in 60 litres of this in one pot. So it's a bit of an expensive task, but what I'll do next year, I'll use the same compost to grow my tomatoes in, and then the year after that, once I've grown my tomatoes in it, I'll grow my potatoes in it. So it'll get, and then the year after that, I'll use it to dig into the garden. So I'll get 4 goes out of it. Get me onions, me tomatoes, and then my potatoes, and then it'll just go and get dug into the garden. So might be expensive, but like I say, I get 3 goes out of it, and it does everything really well. So anyway, that's about it, folks. Just showing you what I put into my giant onion mix. If you've got any favourite mixes, let us know. That's about it, folks. See you later.